10 most dangerous prisons in the world. Prisons already sound pretty scary, but some are infamous, especially for making the inmates' lives hell. Inmates are generally required to follow a lot of rules and routines. They also have limited access to personal belongings, communication, and recreational activities. In addition, prisoners are usually subject to strict rules and regulations, including the ability to be monitored at all times. Inmates are typically housed in small cells or in large dormitories, depending on the prison's security level. But the prisons mentioned in this video take punishment to the next level. Let's jump into the video and count down the top 10 most dangerous prisons worldwide without further ado. Number 10. Bang Kwang Central Prison in Bangkok. Bang Kwang Central Prison is a prison in Nonthaburi Province, Thailand, located on the Chao Phraya River, about 10 kilometers north of Bangkok. It is Thailand's largest and most notorious prison, and is infamous for its harsh conditions. It has a capacity of 8,000 inmates, but is known to house up to 10,000 at a time. It is currently administered by the Corrections Department under the Ministry of Justice. The prison has a grim reputation and is known for its overcrowding, poor sanitation, and harsh conditions. Inmates are often held in cramped cells with little to no access to medical care or other basic services. Many inmates serve life sentences for drug offenses or other serious crimes. The prison is also known for its harsh discipline, including solitary confinement and inmates shackling. Inmates here are subjected to extreme heat and humidity, and the prison contains deadly diseases such as tuberculosis and HIV. 9. Black Dolphin Prison in Russia. The Black Dolphin Prison is a maximum security prison located in the Orenburg region of Russia. It houses some of the country's most dangerous criminals, including murderers, terrorists, and members of organized crime syndicates. The prison was built in the late 1990s and is considered one of the most secure prisons in the world. Inmates are kept in solitary confinement and are subject to tight security measures, including 24-hour surveillance and regular searches. Due to its secretive nature, the prison has been the subject of numerous documentaries and articles. The treatment of inmates at Black Dolphin Prison in Russia is harsh and oppressive. The prison is run in a way that has been described as medieval. It has been reported that inmates are subject to psychological and physical torture. This includes solitary confinement, extreme temperatures, and restricted access to necessities such as food, water, and medical care. Inmates also have limited access to books, newspapers, and television. There have also been reports of inmates being beaten, humiliated, and forced labor. In addition, prison guards are said to be corrupt and have been known to take bribes. Number 8. Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba is a United States military base located in the southeastern part of Cuba. The base was first established in 1903 as part of a lease agreement between the United States and Cuba. The base is still leased by the U.S. today and is used for U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard operations. Guantanamo Bay is also home to the notorious Guantanamo Bay Detention Center, where individuals have been held without trial since 2002. The treatment of prisoners in the Guantanamo Bay detention camp has been controversial and criticized since its opening in 2002. The U.S. government has consistently denied allegations of mistreatment, arguing that the detainees are being held following international law and receiving humane treatment. However, numerous reports have raised serious questions about the detention's legality, torture used, and other harsh interrogation techniques. In response to criticism, the U.S. government has implemented various reforms and changes to the detention policies in Guantanamo, such as introducing a revised review system for those held there and allowing some detainees to be released. However, many detainees remain in indefinite detention without charge or trial, and allegations of torture and other mistreatment continue. Number 7. Ciudad Barrios Prison in El Salvador. Ciudad Barrios Prison is a maximum security prison located in Ciudad Barrios, El Salvador. The prison was built in the late 70s and is known for its overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. In addition, it has a reputation for being one of the most dangerous prisons in El Salvador due to gang violence and shootings. In 2017, a Salvadoran government report revealed 2,275 prisoners, which is over double its capacity of 1,000 inmates. The report also showed that the prison had only 4 guards for every 300 prisoners. In December 2017, a riot broke out in Ciudad Barrios prison, resulting in several deaths and injuries. The riot was reportedly sparked by overcrowding and squalid conditions at the prison. Hundreds of prisoners were involved in the riot, which resulted in multiple injuries and at least 1 death. Following the riot, the government of El Salvador improved prison conditions, including constructing additional prisons and providing better access to healthcare and other services. Number 6. Maracaibo National Prison in Venezuela. Maracaibo National Prison is located in the city of Maracaibo, Venezuela. It is the largest prison in Zulia and one of the most notorious in Venezuela. The facility has been described as overcrowded, dangerous, and lacking basic services and amenities. Reports of violence, abuse, and poor living conditions have been documented. The prison has been the site of riots and even a fire in 2019. In addition, there have been allegations of corruption and maltreatment of inmates. The treatment of inmates at Maracaibo National Prison in Venezuela, like many other prisons in the country, is dire. Reports of overcrowding, malnutrition, gang violence, and lack of medical care are common. Prisoners are subjected to physical and psychological abuse from guards, and the conditions in the facility are often described as inhumane. In 2013, the Venezuelan Prisons Observatory reported that over 800 inmates had died at Maracaibo National Prison due to the lack of medical care and overcrowding. In 2015, the Venezuelan government attempted to address the conditions in prison, but the improvements were minimal. As a result, the prison remains one of the most dangerous and inhumane in the country. Number 5. La Modelo in Colombia. La Modelo Prison is located in the city of Bogota, Colombia. It is the largest prison in Colombia with a capacity of over 8,000 inmates. The prison has a long and troubled history, which includes reports of overcrowding, inadequate medical care, and poor living conditions. In recent years, the prison has come under greater scrutiny due to reports of human rights abuses, including torture and extrajudicial killings. In December 2014, the prison was the site of a violent riot between inmates, resulting in the death of at least 37 people. In addition, the Modelo prison in Colombia experienced a riot in 2018 when inmates took control of the prison. The unrest began when a group of inmates protested over their living conditions and the alleged mistreatment by prison staff. The inmates seized control of the prison and held several guards hostage. The riot lasted for 3 days before the local police and military forces were able to restore order. In response to the riot, the Colombian government announced it was taking steps to improve the living conditions of inmates. Number 4. Carandiru Penitentiary in Brazil. Carandiru Penitentiary, located in Sao Paulo, Brazil, was one of the world's largest and most notorious prisons. It opened in 1972 and was shut down in 2002 due to overcrowding and reports of human rights abuses. It was notorious for its inhumane conditions, including extreme overcrowding, violence, and lack of medical care. On October 2, 1992, a massacre occurred at the Carandiru Penitentiary in Brazil. The incident began when a group of military police officers entered the facility to restore order following riots and disturbances. During the operation, 111 inmates were killed, and more than 200 were injured. The massacre is believed to have been sparked by a police officer who opened fire on a group of inmates during a struggle. Other officers then began to shoot indiscriminately, killing many inmates. The police officers involved were later investigated and charged with homicide, but acquitted because they acted in self-defense. The incident received widespread public attention and sparked a debate about the use of excessive force by police officers in Brazil. In 2002, the Brazilian government paid more than $6 million in compensation to the families killed in the massacre. In 2006, a memorial in the form of a memorial park was opened in the area, dedicated to the massacre's victims. Number 3. Mendoza Prison in Argentina. The Mendoza Prison is located in Mendoza, Argentina, and is one of the oldest prisons in the country. The prison was built in 1859 and has been in operation ever since. The prison is known for its harsh conditions and overcrowding. Inmates are kept in overcrowded cells and have limited access to basic amenities, such as running water and sanitation. Inmates are also subjected to physical and psychological abuse from guards and other inmates. Human rights organizations have criticized Mendoza prison conditions and called for reforms to improve the situation. Mendoza Prison in Argentina has a long history of overcrowding, inadequate health care, and lack of basic necessities. Reports have noted that inmates are often subject to inhumane and hazardous conditions, such as extreme temperatures, inadequate food and water, and overcrowded cells. In addition, there have been reports of violence, including rape and impunity for those responsible. Number 2. The notorious Camp 22 in North Korea. Camp 22, officially known as Kyohwaso No. 22, is a North Korean prison camp located in northeastern North Korea near the Chinese border. It is one of the country's 5 largest prison camps and is believed to be the most notorious. It is estimated that as many as 30,000 prisoners are held there, with reports that most inmates will never be released. The camp has been described as a total control zone, where torture and other forms of punishment are commonplace, and where conditions are extremely harsh. Reports have indicated that prisoners are forced to work long hours in dangerous conditions and are subject to various types of abuse. In addition, inmates are reportedly kept in overcrowded living quarters and suffer from malnutrition and lack of medical care. Prisoners are routinely denied food and water and are forced to work long hours in sub-zero temperatures. Reports indicate that prisoners are beaten, tortured, and subjected to cruel and unusual punishments. In some cases, inmates have been killed for attempting to escape. In addition, prisoners are denied access to basic medical care and the right to practice their religion. Reports also indicate that prisoners are forced to watch public executions of other inmates. Number 1. GITARAMA Prison in Rwanda. GITARAMA prison is located in GITARAMA, Rwanda, the largest prison in the country. It is managed by Rwanda Correctional Service, a government agency. The prison is overcrowded and has been described as deplorable due to its inhumane conditions. Reports of torture and other ill treatment of inmates are common, and there are reports of systemic corruption. The prison also suffers from a lack of adequate medical care, poor sanitation, and inadequate food. The prison is overcrowded with more than 4,000 inmates in a facility originally designed to hold 1,000. As a result, inmates often sleep on the floor or in hammocks. The absolute disregard for the inmates being humans makes this the most dangerous. The prison has been the site of egregious human rights abuses, including torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, and cruel, inhuman, and degrading punishment. Inmates have been tortured, including electric shocks, beatings, and humiliation. In 2012, a report released by the International Committee of the Red Cross found that the conditions at GITARAMA prison were inhumane and degrading, and that the situation had deteriorated since the last ICRC visit in 2010. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching till the end. Let us know which prison you think is the most notorious from the top 10, and don't forget to subscribe.